Welcome back, everyone. Last week I explored Saudi Arabia's ambitious mining vision. Today I'm going on a fascinating journey through time to discover the incredible history of gold mining in this region. And let me tell you, this story goes back much further than most people realize. Let's start with something quite remarkable. The name Mahd Al-Dhahab literally means Cradle of Gold, and it's not just a poetic name. This site has been producing gold for over 3,000 years. That's right, since the time of the ancient Egyptians. Archaeological evidence suggests that people were mining here as far back as 1000 BC. Just imagine that for a moment. When the pyramids were still relatively young, miners were already extracting gold from these very hills. And now here's where history gets really interesting. Many historians believe that Mahd Al-Dhahab might actually be the site of King Solomon's mines. Ancient texts describe vast quantities of gold coming from this region, and the geological evidence matches up perfectly. We're literally walking in the footsteps of ancient kings and traders. The ancient miners were incredibly resourceful. Without modern technology, they developed sophisticated methods for finding and extracting gold. They would follow visible gold veins in the rocks, carefully digging shafts by hand. One fascinating technique they used was called fire setting. They'd build fires around the rock face, heat it up, and then suddenly cool it with water. This rapid temperature change would crack the rock, making it easier to extract the ore. During the Islamic Golden Age, from around 750 to 1050 AD, mining technology took a huge leap forward. Arab engineers and scientists wrote detailed treatises about mineral identification and mining methods. Some of these texts were so advanced that they were still being referenced in Europe centuries later. They developed new techniques for processing ore and even created early versions of ventilation systems for deep mines. The tools they used tell us so much about their ingenuity. Archaeologists have found ancient hammers, chisels, and grinding stones. They've even discovered remains of processing areas where miners would crush the ore and use mercury to extract the gold, a technique that was incredibly advanced for its time. These mines weren't operating in isolation. They were parts of vast trade networks that connected Arabia with civilizations across Africa, Asia, and Europe. Gold from these mines has been found in artifacts from ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and even as far as the Roman Empire. The importance of gold mining went beyond economics. It influenced local architecture, with communities developing unique building styles to cope with the harsh mining environment. It affected social structures, with specialized roles developing for different aspects of mining and processing. Even the local language evolved, developing specific terms for different types of ores and mining techniques. When modern geologists first started exploring Saudi Arabia in the 20th century, they made an amazing discovery. Many of the ancient mining sites they found were still viable for modern operations. The ancient miners had such a good eye for gold-bearing ore that their old workings became valuable guides for modern exploration. As I wrap up today's episode, think about this. The gold being mined in Saudi Arabia today is coming from the same deposits that helped build ancient civilizations. Next week, I'm going to look at how Saudi Arabia is using cutting-edge technology to write the next chapter in this incredible story.